whose agricultural products meet the international set standards. The Director General of the agency, Osita Aboloma, who made this known in Lagos, explained that the new standard will not only boost the non-oil's export produce, which have suffered a setback of the international markets over the years, but also help the country in a quest for increasing her foreign earnings. Our correspondent Folashade Adekunle reports that Aboloma, who was represented by the Director, Standard Development, Chinyere Ogolu, said out of the 339 newly approved Nigerian industrial standards were standards for dry beans, codes of practice for planting, harvesting, storage and transportation, as well as packaging of agricultural products. She also disclosed that the Nigerian industrial standard for Gari is now the newly adopted Codex standard for the product.
Is concerned. The standards developed are to ensure that Nigerian products meet the global benchmark, thereby forestalling a rejection of our products at the international markets, as it has happened in the recent past. We also have standards for many other agricultural products like shea butter, shea kernel, sesame seeds, rice flour, cocoa butter, fura, ready-to-cook frozen yam, plantain chips, zobo, palm kernel, and gari. Codex Alimentaries Commission is the apex body for the development of international standards relating to food and agricultural products. The Nigerian industrial standards for gari, shea kernel, and shea butter have also been adopted by countries in the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS.
Other speakers noted that the newly approved standards will be sustained by the agency since it has enough capacity to track down players who engage in illegal activities.
When you comply with this, we have no problem with testing. And our testing capability has been greatly enhanced. We have capacity to test all these agricultural produce that we have mentioned. We have the capacity to test the contaminants in our food products. We want you to come to SON for testing. But before you get to testing, please come, make sure that you use the standards that are developed. When you use them rightly, your products or produce will not be rejected at local or international level.
So since late last year, you see that we've been doing a lot of mopping out on 45 products, especially sugar from Brazil, from France. They are not 45. We have tested. They have been tested in the lab. The compliance level is 0, and they've been mopped. They've been mopped from the markets. So we've been doing that. It's a regular, it's ongoing activities.
You're still watching the MITV Primetime News. When we return on the news tonight, hurricane season brings a life-threatening situation. These and more after the break. And then before insane tonight, security forces and armed men are reported to have clashed at the headquarters of the National Oil Corporation in Libya's capital, Tripoli. An armed group is said to have stormed the building, and several blasts and gunfire could be heard, witnesses say. Last week, the UN announced a truce between warring militias, which was agreed to in the capital. A UN-backed government is nominally in power in Tripoli. However, militias occupy much of the rest of the country. And the Swedish general election has left two main political blocs almost tied, with the anti-immigration party making gains on its previous results. With nearly all ballots counted, the governing center-left coalition is marginally ahead of its center-right alliance rivals, with about 40% each. The nationalist Sweden Democrats, SD, have won about 18% of the vote, up from 12.9% in the previous election. A protracted battle to form a working coalition now looks certain. And still from the foreign scene, 7 people have been injured, 4 seriously affected in an attack by a man wielding a knife and an iron bar in the French capital, Paris, police say. The attack took place just before 23:00 hour on the banks of a canal in Paris 19th district. People playing a game of Pentacle nearby threw balls at the attacker to try to stop him. The man said to be an Afghan, was later arrested. The incident is currently not being treated as a terrorist attack. The man initially stabbed 2 men and a woman near the MK2 cinema on the Quai de l'Or along the Quark Canal, reports disclosed. And evacuations have been ordered as the U.S. East Coast braces for Hurricane Florence in what may be the strongest storm to hit the region in decades. South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia have declared states of emergency. Residents are stocking up on essential supplies. Officials say Florence is now a Category 4 storm with more than 30 meters per hour winds and gaining strength. It is expected to rise in Carolinas by Thursday. The weather system could reach Category 5 as it draws strength from the warm Atlantic waters, say forecasters. When the news returns tonight, let's talk sports. We'll be right back. And talking sports tonight, Dele Alli has withdrawn from the England squad for Tuesday's friendly against Switzerland with a minor muscle strain. Ali has returned to Tottenham for further treatment in the hope he will be available for their Premier League return against Liverpool at Wembley on Saturday. He managed to get through 90 minutes in the 2-1 Nations League defeat, but his absence will lead to an additional change for Tuesday's kick-out international at the King Power Stadium. And Gareth Southgate has had initial discussions over extending his England manager contract, but for now is only focusing on the job in hand. Southgate led England to the World Cup semi-finals this summer, their best performance since 1990. His contract, understood to be worth £1.8 million a year, runs until summer 2020. In August, Football Association Chief Executive Martin Glenn said he would like to extend Southgate's stay beyond the European Championships that year. Before Tuesday's friendly against Switzerland in Leicester, Southgate was asked whether he would like to lead England at the World Cup in 2022. And Serena Williams has been fined $17,000 by the US Tennis Association in the wake of her outburst during a controversial US Open final loss to Japan's Naomi Osaka. The American was fined for coaching hypocrisy, racket abuse, and for verbal abuse when she accused umpire Carlos Ramos of being a thief during Saturday's stormy final. And that's it tonight on the MITV Primetime News. Thanks for watching. But a quick recap of our top stories. We told you that President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to receive his nomination form, which was bought for him by a group on Tuesday. And in Lagos, the current Lagos State Governor, Ambode, has also picked up his APC governorship form to run for the 2019 election. And from the foreign zone, we told you that in the United States, hurricane season has brought life-threatening situation to the citizens. And from the world of sports, we told you that Dele Alli is out of England's friendly with Switzerland. And that's our story tonight on the MITV Primetime News. From the entire news crew here, thanks for watching. My name is Benjamin Peters. Good night.